Hi, my name is Tommy Dunn, and this is my story I am sharing for the Barbers for Health project. I'm 25 years old. Quite a while ago, I tried to take my own life, and I have had a battle with mental health issues, anxiety and depression. I've always had sort of mental health issues from the age of 14 years old. I was bullied in school. My father didn't want to know me either, so it wasn't always easy from the beginning, to be honest with you. And often suicide would be something that would pop up in my head, but it wasn't something that I was seriously going to go through with. From onwards, going into my 20s, I had things like I got fired from an apprenticeship, I had a breakup, I also got jumped in a park and put in hospital. So there was a lot of different things that contributed to my mental health issues. There had been a few incidents where I had tried to take my own life, but I wasn't really trying to. I was taking pills or whatever, but I'd always tell a family or friend. When I was 21 years old, I was doing okay, I was in a good job, everything was going well for me. There was no reason to feel like how I did. But one day I woke up and I realised I'd put on so much weight. I was nearly 18 stone. My bones, everything, my body was aching constantly. I was cold inside, I felt empty, and I just felt depressed. I felt like there was no going back. There was no reason, like I said, there was no particular reason as to why I felt like it. It was just sort of everything had built up. And a lot of the things that I dealt with in the past of my life, I'd never actually tackled. Unfortunately, that led to me to do a real suicide attempt. I wrote a note for my mum, put it in her laptop. I drank a load of whiskey and I took a load of pills. I'd already been out drinking as well that night, and I thought about it the whole entire night. I went to sleep and I hoped I wasn't going to wake up again. Woke up the next day at 10 o'clock in the morning. My mum had realised what had happened and got me to hospital, where I spent most of the weekend. So it was a big thing that happened to me, but it was the only time in my life that I turned around and it was like a cycle that I needed a break. And my view at the time, my only way of breaking it was to end my life. So once I got out of hospital, I tried to go back to work straight away. It didn't work out. I was signed off for about a week. That's all it took. I went, spent a week with some family and then came back. I never really dealt with it there and then. I never actually pursued it any further. I had some counselling treatment on the phone provided through my company that I worked for and that kind of thing. But for the entire year after, I didn't really do anything about it. I just sort of sat on it and I just sort of accepted this feeling of being empty inside. When it got to the year after, around about February time, I had a complete breakdown again, and I was signed off work for 2 weeks this time. Again, that's all I would be willing to do. I didn't want to be off work for months and months. And at that point, I looked back and I thought, I need to break this cycle again. But this time, instead of breaking the cycle being attempting suicide, to break the cycle, I had to change my mindset. So that's what I did. And I tried everything over the years. I've tried counselling, I've tried pills. It doesn't work for me. And depending on what type of person you are, certain things will and will not work for you. But what did work for me was psychology. I had treatment through psychology. It was a great psychologist. We really went through all of these different life experiences that I'd had, all of these traumatic events that had happened in my life. And we were able to discover that the real problem was I didn't have any life experience. I'd done everything in my comfort zone because I was so put off about challenging myself because of all of these knockbacks I'd had. So what I needed to do was to jump out of that circle and go into the big bad world. So I did that by applying to go and work abroad. So working abroad, the change of circumstances, I was in a job that I really enjoyed. I think changing your circumstances is a big factor in your recovery. I was working abroad, I was in a job that I really enjoyed. I met some great people from all walks of life. And you know, everyone had their own story, everyone's had their own experiences. And as well as that, you see a different culture, you see in a different part of the world. I was always in Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough's always been my life. And it was great for me to actually just get out of Middlesbrough for a bit. I love Middlesbrough, it's my home, but you need to get out there and see the world a bit as well. And the fact that I couldn't just turn around and go to my mum when there was a problem, or go to one of my friends, I had to survive on my own. I had to, look after myself, prepare my uniform for work, meet people myself, do things, put myself out the comfort zone that way. And you really discover that you are actually you're capable of things more than you think. When I came back from the end of my season, I'd lost so much weight. I was a lot happier. I didn't have these feelings of just being sad all the time and put myself down. I really felt like I had achieved something, and I was proud of myself. People were proud of me, but I was proud of myself as well, which is something that was a big thing for me, because I'd never really felt like that. The biggest thing I discovered through the whole of my experience was, a lot of the times it's your environment that plays a major factor in your mental health issues, and sometimes you've got to change your circumstances. I was unhappy being stuck in Middlesbrough all the time, and I was unhappy in my job at the time, so I needed to change those circumstances and go and get some real experience. There are lots of agencies out there that you can talk to, that can help you, that can listen to you. You've got organisations like the Samaritans. Remember, these are ordinary people on the end of those phones. They're not doctors or anything like that. So you can speak to these people when you're feeling down. It's very important that we're talking. And you've also got your friends and your family you can talk to as well. Your employer. There's so many different people out there available for you to talk to. But the biggest thing to always remember, that you as a person, you have that power to change your life. You just really need to keep on you need to keep on fighting. That's what you need to do. You need to keep on fighting and remembering what you're capable of, what you can do. Every single person is on this planet for a reason, and we are all capable of doing something amazing with our life. So no matter how you are feeling inside, don't let that control you. Take control of it. Embrace it. It is what it is, and it makes you the person that you are. I hope sharing my story has helped you and give you a bit of strength or a bit of inspiration to help you in your next step in your recovery process. If you were going through some tough times now and you're thinking that you want to get help, then go and get it, because it's the best thing you can do with your life. And the best thing to do is for you to embrace what you have, take control of it, and turn it into a positive. I wish you the best, and my inbox, I'm always open for anyone who ever wants to talk to me. Thank you.